Every year, the Christmas story speaks to me in a way that it hasn't before. For instance, lately I've been stuck on the phrase, because there was no room for them in the inn. As the story goes, Mary and Joseph travel from Nazareth to Bethlehem due to a census. While there, Mary goes into labor, delivers Jesus, and places him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn. Here's what strikes me about this phrase. Bethlehem can't make room for the divine. Granted, they didn't know he was even coming, but still, there was no room in their inn. Now we could say their doors and windows to the mysteries of God were shuttered. And when you put it like that, it sounds awful. But aren't ours shuttered too? Now, how often do we struggle to make room for the mysteries of God in our lives? How often do we relegate God to the insignificant, poorly built structures of our soul, where the ineffectual parts of our spirituality await just a morsel of attention? For too many of us, there's just not enough room in our soul's inn. Yet the unbelievable message of Christmas is God comes anyway. God comes to a world as light, bound up in a body, even if we don't have room for that kind of mystery. God births into our world love and kinship, even if we don't have room for that kind of mystery. God in Christ shows us how to live and move and have our being, even if we don't have room for that kind of mystery. The magic of Christmas is despite our readiness, God comes to us, even if we don't have room for that kind of mystery. And we see this clearly in Matthew 1:23. Behold, a young woman shall conceive and bear a son, and his name shall be called Emmanuel, which means God with us. This is what makes Christmas so magical for me. Despite our readiness, God comes to us. Actually, despite us at all, God comes to us. And over the years, I've always done my best to keep my heart open to experience this magic. I really do love Christmas, but I'll admit, how I view it has changed over the years. I used to think Christmas was magical because it led us to a new kind of baby, as if baby Jesus was somehow and in some way different than other humans, set apart. But now I know Christmas isn't magical because it leads us to a different kind of human. It's magical because it leads us to a different kind of God. Look at Matthew 1:23 closer. Behold, a young woman shall conceive and bear a son, and his name will be God with us. Hold tightly to that phrase. Think about it like this. That wonderful night at Christmas, when the human baby Jesus was born. He's crying and learning and laughing like all babies do. There's nothing more special about him than any other baby on that night. In time, he'll learn his potential, but right now, what makes all of that moment magical is the change we see in God. God used to be otherworld. Think Zeus on Mount Olympus or Thor on Asgard. They're set apart, they're distant. Yahweh was the same way, but not anymore. At Christmas, the God of the universe comes to us, Emmanuel. No longer is God distant or aloof. No longer is God uncaring or remote. No longer is God unfriendly or unknowable. That God who never actually was, that was just our perception of that God, but that God is gone. The God of the universe is now here, learning with us, engaging with us, dreaming with us, and it all happens whether we're ready for it or not. But we can be ready this Christmas. We can experience this magic if we open our heart to it and make room for a new kind of God. And I tell you how you can do it. Let the hope of love rise up in you. Go inward, tap into your soul, allow yourself to feel love rising. That's the Christ mystery. When we learn to do this, it will unveil to us a secret message that can change our lives. For this moment bears the capacity to change all of us. And this is the secret message. Christ has come, and in His light is light for all. And we can access this light and follow this light and shine this light when we make room for Him in the end.